Let's get it. Woo! Great morning. Happy Monday. Hope you guys had an epic weekend. Hope you guys are ready for an epic week, starting with your Monday. Of course, we got our Herbalife Healthy Meal Shake, our hot Herbalife tea with aloe and fiber. Even throw in a few berries in there for those antioxidants. And man, I'm super excited for a brand new week. You guys, we're at the end of July, which means we're about to go into August, September, and the fourth quarter of the year. And while everybody's chilling right now, they're in that kind of summer days, you guys are focused, starting your week off strong. So I'm super excited. And we got a great speaker for you guys today. Somebody you may not have heard of before. I'm reading a book right now called The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. It's by a gentleman named T. Harv Eker. And he started a whole seminar called the Millionaire Mind Intensive. We actually went to the first day of it a couple months back. It's all about wealth, but more importantly than just the numbers of wealth, it's the mindset of wealth, the money blueprint, he calls it. It's how you think about money that's been passed down to you from your parents and your culture. You know, we don't have enough. Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are evil. Things like that that you may not even know that might be wealth files, he calls them, that could be running how you manage your money. Because think about how much money has passed through your hands since you started, you know, whatever age you were when you started getting some money. All that money that's passed through your hands, your money blueprint or how you think about money is determined what you've done with it. Just think about that. So now you got a chance to grow your money mindset, grow your financial, well-being, if you want to call it that. And we're going to start with Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, producer, author, and creator, T. Harv Eker. Get your notebooks out. So at the end, you can share your biggest takeaways live. And if you're at work, you can't share, no problem. Put in the chat thread your name, where you're from, and your biggest takeaway, and we'll get to a few. So without further ado, throw in your client threads, your chat threads, your team threads, or even on your social media. Triple M is live. You got to be on. We're about to get massive nuggets. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Let's get it.
10 rules for success.
Money is a result. Yeah. Okay, that's what everybody doesn't understand. Money is a result. You're the cause. That's the effect. You are the root of your success. People say to me all the time, hey, Harv, how do I be successful? How do I be a success? I say, if you want to be a success, you have to be a success. You have to be the success. When you are the success, then everything you touch will be a success.
Everyone can be rich, actually. But a lot of people say, well, I don't really want to be rich. I don't want to do what it takes to be rich. But I want to be comfortable. Now, that's a problem right there, by the way, because comfort and convenience are the kiss of death to success. So you have to be willing to be uncomfortable in order to grow. And all that means is that you're going to be able to do something different than you've been doing before. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always got. You got to switch it up. But that's the problem, isn't it? The problem is most people can't switch it up. They want to, and they will for exactly one day. And if they're good, maybe 2 days. But it's hard to keep it up. Why? Because we're creatures of habit. You will need to change your habits. Don't try to change them all at once, because it won't happen. You're going to have to change one main habit at a time. Now, if you can just change one habit, I promise you this, your life will change.
I just want entrepreneurs to know, number one, you're in the right place at the right time, but it has to be the right you in the right place at the right time. Number two, why I say that is because the definition of an entrepreneur or a person in business or even a person in a job is a person who solves problems for people at a profit or for pay. So what are you? You are a problem solver. The biggest mistake almost everyone makes in the world of business and finance and money is they go out and they look for opportunities. Bad move. Go ahead. What's an opportunity? How do you know? It's almost impossible to find, right? So don't look for opportunities. Look for problems. Look for problems. Solve a specific problem for a specific person. Duplicate that. The end result is rich. Yeah. If you want to be rich, don't focus on money. Don't focus on rich. Focus on solving a problem, a specific problem for a lot of people.
Imagine for a moment you're with a 5-year-old child and you're walking down the street and you come across this ice cream store. And you go into the ice cream store and you order this single scoop of ice cream on a cone because they don't have any cups. Now, you give it to the child, and of course, because they're only 5 years old, they have little hands, and they kind of just wobbling out the door, and just as they're out, as they're going out the door hits their hand, and the scoop of ice cream falls on the ground. Of course, they get very upset. They begin to cry. And being the kind and generous person that you are, what do? You go back into the store. And just as you're about to order this other scoop of ice cream, the child sees the poster of the triple scooper on the wall. And they go, I want that triple scoop. And now, because you're a kind and generous person, what do? Do you now get them the triple scoop or you don't? No, of course not. Why would you set them up to fail? They couldn't even handle one scoop. What, are you going to load them down with 3 scoops now? Now, you might be laughing, except for one thing. There's a universe, the universe. And the universe has a principle of management. And the universe says this: until you show you can handle what you've already got, you won't get any more. The Bible says the same thing. To he who hath, more shall be given. Most people are running around with 1 or 2 scoops, dripping all over the place. They have a financial mess on their hands, and they have no foundation, and they go, what? Give me more, give me more, give me more. And the universe, in its support of you, is saying, not until you clean that up.
Every decision you make comes from you. It's your decision. So whether you make a lot of money or a little money are a result of the choices that you make and the actions that you take, right? So they all come from the root of you. So literally, we're talking about the possibilities of when you invest in yourself, when you invest in your mindset, your attitude, when you invest in your character, when you invest in learning more about your habits and changing those habits, when you invest in your personal development, you're going to take a shortcut to that success. Because as I said, it could take 20, 25 years to get a big return on your financial investment, but how long does it actually take to get a return on your personal growth investment? Well, it's different for everybody. It depends on what kind of tree you are. All right, what do I mean by that? There are some trees that when you plant the seeds, they just sprout the next year. They go from nothing to 2 feet in a year, and then they just keep on going. And they grow to a certain height, okay? Let's say this height. But then there's other trees. Take the bamboo tree, for example. You know the bamboo story, where basically you plant the bamboo seed. And a year later you come back and you check on your bamboo tree, and there is no tree. How come? Because it's still under the ground. 2 years later you come back and you come check on your tree, no tree. There's nothing to see. 3 years later, no tree. 4 years later, no tree. You start to wonder, there's no tree here. This thing must not have taken hold. The 5th year you come back, not only do you see a tree, you see a tree that could actually be 50 feet high in only 1 year. How come? Because what was it doing for the 4 previous years? It was growing its roots really, really deep, really, really strong, so that it could handle that extreme skyrocketing growth when it came out of the ground. So a lot of you are fast-growing trees from the very beginning, but you got to have stamina. That's why you have to keep on working on yourself. You have to keep on investing in yourself so that you don't just grow and then plop over by the first wind that goes by, right? And a lot of you are bamboo trees. You are growing deep, deep roots. And then you're going to all of a sudden sprout, grow really high, and you'll keep it because your roots are deep. One way or the other, you have to invest in yourself. You have to keep growing.
Play to win. Rich people play the money game to win. Poor and middle-class people very often play the money game not to lose. They play the money game on defense.
Playing it safe.
Yeah, they play on defense versus offense. Their big intention is to have enough to pay the bills, and on time would be kind of a miracle, right? And you know what? If your intention is to have enough to pay the bills, if you'll notice, that's exactly what you're going to get.
We were always looking for the complicated things to do. Look for, it's got to be complicated, it's hard, and success is hard. And, we sometimes get quite focused on making sure we do the hard things. But sometimes, isn't it true that it's the easy things that, we have that we could do, that by not doing them, things become hard, things become difficult, life becomes difficult. So the goal is to do the easy things in life. Like, here's an example. We all know that we should
eat our vegetables, eat more greens, eat healthier. Is that a hard thing? Is that a complicated thing? No, it's a simple thing. Do you do it? Most people no. They don't do it, and they don't do it enough, so they give that up. A little bit of exercise, we know that. Do we do it? For most people, no, they don't necessarily do it. Calling people back, answering emails, being in integrity, keeping your word, being on time, keeping your agreements. I'll get this to you tomorrow. Do you do it? Well, hopefully you do, but most of the times we don't. And they're not hard, they're easy, but it's the easy things that we don't do that make life hard. So the big insight here is that things that are easy to do are also easy not to do.
When we come into the world, we come in as an empty vessel. You don't know anything, you've got no information. And here you are, this empty vessel, this empty glass. And all of a sudden, you come into the world, and the second you get into the world, you get filled up with information. From who? Everyone and everything all around you. So pretty soon, you are a factor, a result of this information. And so why do you think the way you think? Why does anybody think the way they think? Because of the information that's been stored in the files of your mind. Your mind is nothing more than a big old file cabinet. It stores information. And so literally, the only thing you can think is what's in the files of your mind. And the only thing that's in the files of your mind is what you learned, what you were told, the information that's in there. You cannot pull out a file of a file cabinet that's not there. And that's the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. Successful people have files in their file cabinet that are files that lead to success. When Donald Trump makes a decision, normally that decision results in success. So why is it that his decisions result in success? He has files in his mind that are success-based files, wealth-based files. It's normal, it's natural for him. It's natural for most rich people because they have files in their file cabinet called their mind that result in actions that result in success. Most people are the opposite. Why? Because most people learn about money, about success, about happiness from people who aren't successful, wealthy, and happy. So if that's what you learn, what do you expect? So what do? Well, you need to reprogram. You need to relearn. You need to put some new information in the files of your mind, and then you need to have some new actions from those files, and you will get new results.
You say, hey, Harv, it's easy for you to say that. You're really rich. Well, you know what? I wasn't always rich. And it's because I did that, because I was willing to take a shot on me, that I am really rich. You know, I came from a place where I wasn't not only the nicest guy in the world, but I thought I knew it all, but I didn't know anything, right? I didn't know business. I thought I knew that, but obviously I didn't. I didn't, you know, I was a very angry guy. I was very, you know, not very nice to people. I was out of balance. I was, you know, doing lots of things that were very poor habits. And literally, I learned how to succeed. That's the cool thing about this. You can learn to succeed at what? At anything. You can learn how to be a piano player. I don't know anything about piano, but I bet you in 1 year I could learn how to be a piano player. How? Well, you say by practicing, right? Yeah, but I could practice for a whole year to learn a song, and it still might not even get it. Why don't I take a shortcut? What's the shortcut? Get a teacher. Get a professional piano teacher to teach me how to play piano. And in 1 year I could learn lots of songs. I could do that, you could do that. Anything you want to know and be good at, you can do. You can learn how to do it. Remember, every master was once a what? Every master was once a disaster. So you can learn anything. There's not one thing that you know that you want to get involved in. If you want more money, you can learn how to do that. If you want better relationships, you can learn how to do that. You want better health, you learn how to do that. You want a better you just want to learn how to be happier, you can learn how to do that. Every one of those things is a learnable skill.
You know, one of the things that I've had running since Wealth and Wisdom is that it's true that, you know, the truth is that sometimes I don't feel fantastic. Sorry. Sometimes I don't. And sometimes I'm a little upset, a little frustrated. You know, I have the emotional parts that come out. Anybody else relate to any of this? Yes? Sometimes, once in a while. Well, let me say this right now. So I get a little support. And a little support comes in the form of these words. Don't forget to wear your awesome glasses. And those are glasses that on the front of them, everything you look at through those glasses is what? Awesome. Everything is awesome. all right? They're special glasses. You put them on, everything is awesome. Now the question is, does that work? The question is that a bunch of BS, or can that actually translate into reality? How many of you say it can actually translate into reality? Why would it translate into reality? Because you have a choice. You're going to look at things a certain way anyways, yes or no? You don't have a choice about that. You're going to look at it in a certain way. The only question is, can you remember to look at them in an awesome way? Can you look at the good in it? That's all you have to, can you do that? And the awesome glasses help us do that. So everybody right now, I want you to take your glasses, hold them right here, look at them and notice that they say awesome right on the glasses. Right on it. All over them. Everything's awesome about these glasses. Now here's what I want you to do. I want you to take these glasses and I want you to put them on. And I want you to see the world. I want you to look at your friends.
I got my awesome glasses on. Who put on their awesome glasses? I got on my awesome glasses where everything looks awesome. You said you got a choice. Why not choose for everything to be awesome? I love that. Rox, what you got for us?
All right, what's up, you guys?
Where's your awesome glasses?
They're on, so you can't see them. Great morning. So some of my biggest takeaways, I love the very, almost beginning part, but he talked about learning to handle what you have right now. And he was talking about how you can't have more in your life if you can barely handle what you have. It's kind of like what Jim Rohn says, like your income will always meet you where your personal development is or where you are inside of your life. And it makes so much sense. It's kind of like those people that win the lottery and they become millionaires, and most, like majority of them, that there's been studies where they actually end up broke. And they go from millionaire, winning the lottery, and then they go to broke. Why? Because that's how they're wired inside of them. Like they didn't grow enough to be able to keep what they had. And so the universe will always give you back like where you're at. So I thought that was really, really powerful, because when we want more in life, the biggest question is like, well, how can I become more? What can I do to learn, to grow, and to grow my skills, to grow in my character, like all of the things that he was talking about, because the more that we grow, then the more that we can attract the things that we want in our life. So I thought that was really awesome. And then the next one, I love that how he was talking about investing in yourself, and that everything comes from the root of you. And he said it's like trees. There's all sorts of different trees. There's those trees that like you plant them and they sprout, and then there's those where like you plant them and it takes years for them to sprout. And it's the same concept with us. It's like, again, developing the skills, developing our character, and continuing to learn and to grow. And then once we're ready, we'll like jump shot. But first we got to really work on ourselves in order to be able to handle the big kind of success. And for everybody, the success is different, but whatever level of success that we're seeking to achieve in our life.
I love that. Awesome. Definitely let those roots go deep, because he said once the roots go deep, they can handle the growth so you don't flop over. I love that. That was good. A couple of my biggest takeaways: you are the root of your success. And really what I took that as is, sometimes in the past I've gotten mad, well, I'm not doing this, or this hasn't happened, or man, they're getting this and I'm not. And I would look outward to justify my upset, my anger, my unhappiness. And I had to take the time, and I've been working on it, to never base it on the outside, to take full responsibility, even of the things that I may think, man, it's just the luck of the draw, or that just happened. It's like, no, taking responsibility that everything happens, the good, the bad, the ugly, because of me. And if I take responsibility back for all that, yeah, it hurts in the beginning. It sucks. It stings. It's like, why the heck would I do that? What's the purpose in that? I can't even find a purpose in it. But then once I have responsibility, I also have now the power to change it. And if the responsibility is outside of me, if it's because of somebody else, I can't change it. So for me, I had to really get focused on something I work every day. It's like, if I'm the one causing this, okay, then we can stop that right now, and I can start to cause some new things. What do I have to do that? And the biggest thing that I've been working on is starting to be grateful for everything in every situation. It's kind of what Abraham Hicks talks about. In every situation, there's an opportunity to focus on what you want or the lack of what you want. And whatever you focus on is going to expand. So if I'm in a situation, I'm like, well, this has happened and this has happened. I'm focusing on the lack of, and therefore I get more of the lack of. Oh man, I'm not having enough money for this. I don't have enough clients for this. I don't have enough, experience for this. I don't have enough whatever. I'm focusing on the lack of having something, so I get more lack instead of looking in that moment, changing my awareness and saying, what can I find to feel good about in this moment? What can I find to be grateful for inside of this moment? Because if I can find anything to be grateful for, then what I'm grateful for, no matter how small, will expand because of my attention and my focus on it. So I'm grateful for the clients that I do have. I'm grateful for the time that I can go to the gym. I'm grateful for the healthy food that I can eat. I'm grateful for the team that I do have. I'm grateful for the money I do have. I'm grateful for the experiences I do have. Even if it's smaller, it might seem small in my head right now, at least I'm focusing on the positive, because in any moment, what I focus on expands. It's like becomes a chain reaction. And that all comes from the mindset of the root is all me. It all comes from me. The good and the bad, the ugly, the great and the excellent, and the failures all come from me. And now that they come from me and I know that, I can change it right now. It's within my power to change it right now. What I think about, what I speak about, what I act about will bring it. And therefore I took back my power. So I really like that one. Next one is start on one habit at a time. He said most people get uncomfortable for a day. If they're really awesome, 2 days. But he said the way to really do it is just pick one habit. You don't got to pick 1,000. And from one habit, if you really focus on changing one habit, it will change your life. Why? Because everything is connected. So for me, my one habit was waking up earlier at a consistent time. Once I chose that, that started to attach to other things. So it went from waking up when I felt like it or when I wanted to when I decided to early and when I decided to. As I changed that, my morning fitness started to change, because now that I was up, I could get an extra workout in. I could do some extra cardio. So that waking up started to affect my health results, my energy in the morning. From waking up early, affecting my health results, increasing my energy. Now I had more energy to give. I was able to send out more messages. I was able to follow more clients. So now my business inside of Herbalife was positively impacted by waking up early. And because my business inside of Herbalife was positively impacted, I felt better. Finances got better. Was able to do more adventures. Was able to help more people. So now my impact and my lifestyle is increased on this side. But it all happened from right here at choosing one thing, which was to wake up early at a decided time. One habit. I didn't say, hey, I'm going to change the habit of my Herbalife business. I'm going to change the habit of my health. I'm going to change the habit with my clients. I didn't say any of that. I said, hey, I'm going to choose one thing, but I'm really going to put the effort on being in alignment with this decision I made and staying consistent. Whether I feel like it or not, hey, that morning I'm getting up. And that one thing, they call it the nudge effect. We'll start to nudge things because everything inside the universe is connected. So you don't have to move everything at once. You move one thing, it's going to move 1,000 things. Now, it might not have to be waking up early for you, but what is it for you is the one thing that you really want to focus on changing this week. It could be what you eat for your snacks. It could be how much water you have. It could be how many pages in a book you read. It could be how many times you work out. It could be how much quiet time you spend. It could be whatever, but you got to choose it, and then you got to do it. I encourage you to choose and do something today to start for your week. And then my last thing is do the easy things, and if you don't do the easy things, that's when life becomes hard. You know, I love that he said, hey, we always think it's got to be a complicated thing, and it's got to be this and that. This actually goes in with the one habit thing, the one thing, because he said, what can we do right now that's easy? You can eat more fruits and vegetables. It's easy. You pick them up, you eat them. Like, that's not the hardest thing in the world. It may not be the funnest thing in the world, but it's not construction. I feel like everybody should have to go do some construction for at least one day or move somebody's house. Those two things, if you did construction or move somebody's house and furniture, then you'd know what hard is, so that you could know, okay, picking up that sofa and that dresser and that bed and all those boxes, for a whole day till my back hurt, my hands hurt. That was hard. Eating some veggies and some fruit, that ain't that hard, man. I did the hard. Because if you do this, the little things become the big things. And they said if you do what's in your power already, more will be given to you. So do the things that are easy, that may not be fun. I didn't say they're fun, but they are easy to do. Because when you do the easy things, life is easy. I thought that was really awesome. Couple tips on that. Things like not drinking soda when you go out to a restaurant. Things like not eating the bread out of the bread basket. Things like not snacking on chips and crap. Things like not drinking the beer when your friends are drinking or the alcoholic beverage if you just want to drink one to fit in. Now, if you're going out to celebrate, that's no problem. But sometimes it's the little things that we don't even think about that are all these extra things that add up over time. This is what I used to do when I used to drink. I don't drink anymore, but I'll be like, if I'm going to go in, I'm going to go in. We're going to have like 5, 6, 7 drinks, and this is going to be my night for the week, and we're going hard. But if it ain't that night, I'm not going to do 1 or 2 just to do it. What are we doing it for pictures? I'm either going to go in, and this is going to be my night, or I'm not going to, and I'm not even going to waste it. Why have the little bread there? If I'm going to go in on a treat meal, I need the dessert, I need the pizza, I need the meatless tacos, I need it all. And if it's not, it's not. That's kind of like, it's either all or nothing. We ain't got to do the middle. The middle will get you messed up. Roxy's over here looking at me like I'm crazy.
And it's only a treat meal, you guys, not a cheat day.
Yeah. So let's get a few takeaways. I know we got some in the chat bar. Give me a smile or a thumbs up if you're excited to share. Give me a big smile or a thumbs up. Who's excited to share? I'm looking for your face. Everybody's thinking deep. While you guys are thinking deep, I'm going to read this nugget from Terry. Learn to succeed. Life is a learning process, and we can literally learn anything we want to. Love how he said, you want better relationships, learn how to do that. It's like if you're not happy, learn what makes you happy and go with that. Never stop learning. Love that. Let's get it. Who's got a takeaway for me? Give me a small. Give me. I hear somebody.
I'll share.
Let's get it, Sabrina from Texas.
What's up, guys? Happy Monday. Okay, so my takeaway was kind of like what Roxy said about the tree and the root. How the reason it's taking longer is because it's building its roots to sustain a very massive tree. And to me, that relates to how all of us hit different levels within Herbalife in our own time. And that's what kind of spoke to me right now. And it's true because some of us take longer than others. And for me, I feel like, okay, I hit supervisor in so many months. And sometimes I'm like, man, I feel like I could have hit it sooner. But I feel like hearing that right now was like, hey, everything happens for a reason. And everybody's timing is different. And not everybody's going to sprout, as soon as you plant a seed. So that was my takeaway from that right now.
Love that. Everybody has their own timing and everybody has their own journey. The only way you can stop or fail is if you stop and quit. So I love that. That was really dope. From Selena Ibarra, until you show you can handle what you got, you get nothing. The universe will say no, not until you clean that up. We don't realize how much we have to clean up in life. I love the ice cream scoops. That was dope. That was a great analogy. Let's get one more share. Give me a thumbs or a smile if you're excited to share. Let's get it. Ashley Ann, what you got for us?
All right, great morning, you guys. So my takeaway was my video lagged, so I'm not able to get like the pointers, but I was able to take some notes on it either way. But it was when he was talking about the fact that successful people, when you're first born, you're like getting those like files put in and you're getting that information when you first start up. So successful people have successful thoughts. So you have successful files. So you can pull from those files and that can lead to success. But what he said was key was that those files result in action. So you got to get into action before you can do anything. So it's the actual action that results in the success. So that was huge for me because I'm like, a lot of times with Herbalife, especially when I first started, I wanted to learn everything. So I read the 4 books like back and forth all throughout, but I never talked to anybody. I was too scared to talk to anybody. So there was no action involved in that. And it's not until recently that I actually started getting into action that I actually saw my business starts to grow. So that's pretty amazing. And it's pretty dope because it's so true. It's what you fill your head with is exactly what you're going to get in your life. So focus on action.
Love that. The action changed everything. 10K org world team on the verge of the active world team, Ashley Ann. So it's working. Taking the action from the knowledge every single day. And it is what you put in. Remember, they said it's just the wealth files, because he talks about what you think, you feel, what you feel, you act, and your actions create your results. And you got to think about, I'm going to leave you guys with this as we leave. Think about what you were programmed with as a kid. For me, I remember looking back, I remember looking at things like music videos. Rappers had a lot of chains on, they had expensive shoes, and they had nice shiny cars. Those were the things I was like, oh man, you're rich if you have Jordans on and you got name brand clothes, and that means you're rich. No, that actually means you're not rich, because you spent the money on things that decrease in value. So you got to remember, think about what you were programmed with as a kid. And then think about what people are being programmed with, like your younger brothers and sisters and maybe your children. So you got to understand that it's not good nor bad. It's just awareness is the first thing. I used to think that rich was a certain look. You had things, it looked a certain way. That must mean you're rich. If you got remember when they had the excursion with the back off and the 24-inch rims? I was like, boom, hey, that means you're rich. No, it doesn't. It means you're the opposite of rich. Because if you look at really what it means, look at the people who have the most money. They never look like they have money. Why? They're not spending it on clothes and cars. They're spending it on businesses and real estate and investments and stocks and bonds and all those things. But we were never taught that through the media. So what does that mean? It's our responsibility to first reprogram ourselves with things like Triple M books. I would definitely suggest reading Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker, and then starting to share that with people. Start to share that with our family. Start to share that with the next generations and start to exemplify that. It doesn't mean that having nice clothes and nice cars is a bad thing, but it does mean is if that's your only pursuit, what are you showing the people around you is the value that they want to go after? Because I'm very clear. I used to do what my parents and the people I looked up to, I would just do what they did, not knowing there was any different, because awareness has to progress over time. And then a lot of the time you just don't know. So think about that as you start thinking. Just ask yourself, what wealth files do I have? What do I think is wealth? What do I think is important for my finances? What do I invest? That's the biggest thing. Look at your bank statement and you'll see what your priorities are, because you'll see what you invested in.
Pleasure, or what was the other one?
It's education versus entertainment. So, for example, every time I put our money down for our Herbalife Nutrition monthly order, it's like $1,200 to $1,300, sometimes $1,500 a month. And I'm like, woo, investment. Because I used to spend $100, $150 at the club in one night. Boom, non-investment. I was taking debits out of my life. So it's just, look at your bank statement. Look, I'm investing in BJ's Pizza. That's a priority for me. Now, once a week, once every 2 weeks. Okay, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. What? It's like Chris Tucker said, if you ever heard his own thing. You can't be celebrating every Tuesday. What you out celebrating? No, you just out partying. So great stuff. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Share these nuggets. Do not leave them with you. Repost a flyer, repost a picture of T. Harv Eker, repost a picture of yourself, repost the recording link when I put it up. Whatever you got to do, tell somebody. Be like, hey, I want to drop some nuggets on you from this guy named T. Harv Eker from Triple M. And share it, because you learn it better when you share it. So I'm going to take everybody off mute. Where you at? Give me some energy.
Woo! Happy Monday.
Let's go. It's time to go change the world. Let's get it. Finances.
Kill this week.